My name is Mohammad, and I'm a Nightscape photographer from southern Iran, Wonderland. I'm here to talk about art in Nightscape photography. So, I think it's better to talk in actual landscape at night, instead of a studio. This type of photography is thought to be scientific, but based on my experience, it's more of an artistic work that engages the feeling in the audience. And tonight, we are going to discover nightscaping with totally artistic outlook. Let me first tell you about how nightscape photography formed. Nightscape photography is the product of two types of astronomical and landscape photography, which in my opinion, despite the powerful terrestrial subject of landscape, has a deeper impact on the nightscape photography more than the astronomical part. Capturing and representing a landscape has a historical background, from oil painting and analog cameras until now we are capturing landscape with the digital cameras. When we hear landscape photography, at first it reminds us about nature photography, while it also includes landscapes in cities. Nature is always a greater place in people's mind. The purpose of landscaping is to transfer the beauty and the macrovision to the viewer's eyes. Besides, nightscape also represent peace and the feeling of humbleness. In fact, photographers try to discover the pleasant feeling from this sense can be conveyed to the viewers as a photo. Photographer can stimulate their feeling and deliver his main message, so the audience can accept it, the process called art.
My name is Amir Reza Kamkar and I'm a night sky photographer and amateur astronomer. At the beginning, astrophotography was a way for professional astronomers to study celestial objects, and there were a limited number of amateur astronomers or photographers who takes images of the night sky. But after digital revolution, many amateur astronomers start taking beautiful images of deep sky objects with their off-the-shelf equipment. I think the most important purpose of nightscape photography is making a connection between people and natural night sky. As human beings, we were connected to the nature, including the night sky through our history. And now deep sky photography is even possible with simple equipment like you can see here. A small star tracker, an astro-modified camera, and a fast lens. With today's cameras, we can even capture single exposure photos of deep sky objects over the beautiful landscapes of our planet. This type of night sky photography is known as deepscape, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Recently, with the development of technology, image sensors become powerful and everyone was able to do low light photography. This is when nightscape photography was popular. Nightscape photographers are in two different groups. One that are astronomers, that their focus is mainly on astronomical subjects to get the better result and detail from them. And they pay more attention to science than art. Other group that are landscapers, and their main focus is on the foreground and more beautiful landform, and they pay more attention to art than science. Nightscapes, like their own name, should have a foreground or middle ground in the frame, which depends on the photographer's target. But still, both have their own purpose and attractions in their category. So, what do you think about this type of photography? Is it scientific or artwork? Both scientific and artistic parts of nightscaping is involved in artwork. In science, people are more comfortable with art than more serious conversation. That's why science organizations and observatories concentrate on the art section as well. One of the most remarkable examples is Cassini spacecraft. Besides its scientific purpose, Cassini images are attractive to everyone, which is because of the paying attention to composition rules and other perspectives of art. With visual attractions and art, we can draw people's attention to science and talk about deeper topics.
Guys, I know you enjoy from this interstellar view. Can we take a nightscape together?
Yes.
Great. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Shot. In art, landscapes are so inspirational because they involved with aesthetics by showing a natural landform or human objects.
For capturing a nightscape, you need an almost dark place which leads you to nature. That's why most nightscapes are natural landscapes. I also see that portraits and other type of photography are so much more attractive in night frames.
In the nightscapes, when audience watching the astronomical subject with landform, they never feel the scientific facts because they are watching the familiar subject like nature or human, which are more comfortable to the human eyes and makes them accept facts as a part of life.
Nightscapers are always displaying the beauty of our cosmos by showing the night sky with landscape which create a deep background in their audience to improve their vision. So with these two different attitudes, we can expect have two different outputs, one in art and other in science. But what is actually the most impressive factor in this field for the photographer and his audience? Landscapes and stars have always inspiration on people. Even astrophotographers try to impress their audience by capturing rare frame of landscape with a stunning night sky view. Besides, the glorious view of night sky have a long spiritually effective on human beings, and showing this in any frame would have a deep influence on the audience. So now we can say that for creating nightscape, we need to be more involved with artwork, and we can use our image as a medium to promote science. The artist should have a daily mind practice in art. So nightscape photography is a full-time artwork, and it's a great way for showing our deep vision to the people. When people look at the astro image, they see science and they may not to be involved. But nightscape photography as an artwork can engage their thoughts for some time to get to know the deep scientific facts hidden in image, and it may level up their vision about surrounding universe. The goal of art in nightscape photography is to interpret the great facts of the universe to emotional feeling for the audience. Nightscapes have a great emotional potential in them. We can say this field has a deep effect on society. The realistic beauty and the feeling that are beyond our planet are totally real, which can say truth, art, and audience. In my view, making an art in nightscape photography is an important job, and we are faced with totally emotional work. It's time for society to have a vision on the great interstellar and stellar space, which nightscape photographers have the key to this secret gateway. And besides, an art piece is always beautiful. So we, means nightscapers, should know that we have a duty to bring a beauty, peace, and great facts of the universe to our audience. Just imagine, at night we are watching the outside world of our planet, and it's always make me feel like I'm on a huge spacecraft, wandering around in the galaxy like curious passengers that love to explore the outside world. Capturing such a tremendous interstellar view from a pale blue spacecraft on my camera will always be delightful for me.
Now, I'm going to talk about some works that I have no scientific intention on it, and my own deep reasons of my works.
First, let me tell you about my own feeling and purpose of photography. I have an artistic attitude in photography, but I also love to impress my audience with scientific facts. I want to say that there are such a great feeling facts in the sky, and how they can improve our lives if we look at them more wisely. This is why I like to take real and single exposure shots. This also has a positive impact on the audience to believe that. I show them that they really happened, but my presentation method may engage imagination of people more than their logic, and my image may look more surreal.
This is my target. At the first, a person is fascinated by the art section, and then they realize that there is some scientific reason hidden in there.
At first may seem like a fiction, but then they understand that this is our real, like a single exposure image, and just colorize. For example, showing an image in full dome or Mercator presentation method makes it more dramatic and more imaginary, like this one. A full dome from cliff that looks like a cave. I captured this frame 12 times in different seasons to finally find the right position of the Milky Way was in center of the frame and have a special meaning like a heart from nature. I finally found this composition after a year. This story represents a primitive human coming out of its cave and is amazed by the Milky Way. Perhaps the first days that mankind understand the Milky Way. With the hard shape of lighting, audience feel like safe and calm space. While coming out of this cave, he will confronted with the deep scientific facts and the stars. Or the second image. That is Mercator panorama. Palm tree is the symbol of victory and resistance in the ancient cultures. The beauty of this tree at night is incredible. It looks like it's very trying to reach for the stars. I try to imply this by creating a Mercator panorama and by directing these trees to the sky. And that's me, a little in the middle. A little human with a little light stuck on the earth on the billion of stars. I also have a portrait at night. As you can see, human objects can be figure of the calmness and can play the main role in the picture. Stunning cliffs in south shore of Iran always bring about a great imagination for me.
I have amazing memories with them. Every one of them have a wonderful character for me.
For implying the beauty, the audience should interact with our image. Different techniques and equipments help us to communicate more effective with the audience. We can use a familiar subject to the human's eyes. Darkness only shows us to the forms and leaves the details unknown. With lighting the subjects in different angles, we can get the very various results, and also the texture of the subject is found with the light and become to something known and natural for audience. We can put the human subject or have a purposeful composition or even take a panorama to put more and strong subject in our frame. When we have human subject in image, we unconsciously put our audience in a spiritual ambience which will make them more comfortable with the facts and greatness of cosmos, and they can interact with them more easily. The things that they thought was only an imagination now turn it out to be facts and would feel familiar. Or the fear of darkness. which is naturally in every human being, would vanish with the human in the frame. We can also create a scale with human subjects. Even taking photographs of a family would make the audience to trust more, and that's when they are ready to accept the facts.
It's so important to use subjects that correspond with environment and topics.
Even if we are placing a human subject in our frame, their own feelings are effective on the quality of our image. That's why I use real night sky lovers in my works and not models. And surprisingly, that's actually have a better influence on my work. Even a 6-year-old girl. Development of technology helped art to improve in better way. One of the most impressive tools to transfer the real sense of the environment is virtual reality. We can do so much with just a full panorama. One example is VR. With virtual reality headset, you can create the ambience of your image and not in the distant future. With my experience, I can get the conclusion that Nightscape photography is more than artwork, and for better results, we have to represent our story with perfect scenario that shows landscape feeling be captured. For this purpose, the photographer can perform artistic activities to produce emotional facts, such as art studies, composition, eye sticks, edit and change the color and light of the photo to show the real feeling of the environment, so that reality is not distorted. However, artistic nightscape photos isn't used for scientific reference and are edited based on the photographer's feeling and message. But for capturing and also processing nightscapes, we need to understand amateur astronomy to know about astronomical subject and have a better timing to get a better result.
Create high quality artworks needs feeling exercise and self-training. Nightscape photography is great experience that wants to display beauty and greatness of our cosmos.
For example, when we are looking at a picture of the city, we might feel like a loser, but when the picture is a cityscape, it would feel better and would imply a macro vision of it. Or by just looking at the picture of Milky Way, we would think deeper about our universe. Working at the Nightscaper would give us a beautiful perspective in life, because we are always practicing for finding better and more beautiful frames to capture. And this would make an ideology to live on this little blue spacecraft. Can you believe that a simple nightscape has so much to tell us? They are not just some pixels captured together by a scientific technique. If we think a little bigger, we realize that in addition to visually capturing the physics, the feeling part of the frame can also be captured. Pixel assignment, called composition, the last and most important word in our discussion.
Thank you all for paying attention, especially Royce for inviting me to the conference. If you have any further questions or even ideas, please share them with me on my website and subscribe my YouTube channel for more tutorials. I wish best starry night for you.